Hey peeps, we are back. We're talking The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 16, Episode 16. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. Next week's episode is the season finale, and I can tell you that I am grateful for that. This reboot was ridiculous, and I think it's time for another reboot. I have had my fill of Heather, Emily, and Gina, and Jennifer has bored me to death. Girl, go on somewhere. You and Ryan and Mr. Peppers. I've had it. So the show picks up right where it left off. The ladies are still in beautiful Aspen, Colorado. Noella is having a conversation with Heather. Now, let me remind you in case you have forgotten. Last episode, which was based on the same evening, Heather made the comment that if Noella apologized, it would be done. She would accept it right away and move forward.
If you feel I have said anything that is hurting your family, then I apologize to you. Do you receive it? Do you hear me?
So it's not how I feel, it's what you've said. My family and my life is more important to me than what you are going through.
Did you put your hands on a member of the crew that night?
I didn't touch anyone,
Okay.
Noella. You admitted it to the girls that you lied.
Just because I didn't see it with my own eyes.
I'm a grown-ass woman with a beautiful life, and you are a liar and a thirsty girl. And I'm done.
Bye. Kind of shocked that you understand what thirsty means.
Okay, see, what happened to that? What happened to I'll accept it and move forward? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. And did anybody see the smile on Jen's face when Heather told Noella that she was thirsty? Jen was so excited to see Noella being treated that way. I think that Gina and Emily standing on the steps listening to the conversation was real middle school-like. Gina amping up Heather. Come on, let it go. You guys are really being the mean girls. You know, I think they probably watched The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the season that they all ganged up on Denise Richards, and decided, we've got to be more like that. I'm just saying, these girls are ridiculous. I believe that Bravo thought that bringing Heather onto the show would really help with the ratings, that people would absolutely love her, but they made a mistake. Heather is pretentious. She thinks that she's better than everybody else. That comment she made to Noella, she's got a beautiful life, as if to say that Noella's life sucks. You know, at one point, Noella had a beautiful life also. Just because you have this rich husband, this beautiful house, and can fly private does not mean that you are better than anybody else. I don't like it when people act as if they are better than somebody else. Stop the mess. So the next morning, they all get up. They're going to go out and try their hand at archery. Before they go, Noella orders some fruit and a Bloody Mary. And I said, well, Lord, I hope the woman is not going to try archery drunk. I mean, no, ma'am. I was also hoping when the next morning finally came, we would see Heather strolling out of the place on her way to her private jet, take her butt back to OC. I could do with less Heather Dubrow.
Ms. Dubrow came after me, called me a liar. I'm like, you know what then? It's out there, and so that's your karma. Do you know what that bitch said? She's like, all the things going on in your life, my divorce and my son's autism and my father's death. She's like, maybe that's your karma.
Now, listen here, Noella. You a lie. You a lie. Heather did make a comment about your karma, but she did not say anything about your son with autism, and she didn't say anything about your daddy. Now, all of that could have been implied, but she didn't actually say that. Noella, you adding a little razzle-dazzle to the story. Now stop it, woman. By the way, is it me or did Noella's friend Kenny, did her lips look painful? I mean, just watching it, I said, oh my gosh, that looks like it hurts. Anyway, you know what? Noella is speaking facts about the girls being scared of Heather. They really are. I don't know if it's that they're afraid of Heather and all the lawsuits that she's always tossing around. I just don't know if it's the lawsuits or if it's that they want to be around her because she lives this wealthy lifestyle and she's always taking these glamorous trips and she's always taking the private jets. I have no idea what it is, but there is nothing that Heather Dubrow could offer me that would have me stand by her in the bullshit. No, ma'am, I can't stand by you while you are acting as if somebody else is beneath you. No, ma'am. I don't care how much money somebody has. I don't care if they have a lot of money, no money at all. If you are respectful to me, I'm respectful to you. I cannot respect the way Heather treats people. Noella decides not to go, which I think is a good idea because that woman has been drinking. Anyway, Jen makes this comment, well, hurry up, let's go before she changes her mind. You know what? Let this be her last season. Ma'am, go on somewhere. Now, I have said this before. I am not the biggest fan of Noella, but the woman has lost her father. Her husband has divorced her. Well, I do feel for her, but I also appreciate that she has put it all out there, her first season of the Housewives. She is also the only one that's willing to stand up to Heather and not accept the BS. So I appreciate that. That alone, standing up to Heather alone, is a reason to give Noella a second season. So she's struggling with the loss of her father. And, we don't know because of the way things look, if he just recently died or if he died in 2012, I don't know. But she's struggling with it. She's also received her divorce papers. It's coming on down the line that her divorce is about to be final. She realizes that they have these embryos that have to be destroyed now. And she just has a complete moment of breakdown. She's crying, she's screaming, and it's understandable. And I think that's something that is needed. Sometimes a really good cry, a really good let go will definitely help. It helps you release the stress and the anger and all of that just out in the atmosphere. So I appreciate that she did that alone and not with anybody else. Also, we've seen her do a lot of heavy drinking this season. I don't know if it's an edit or if she's just using alcohol to cope with the situations in her life right now, but I am hoping that she cuts back because that's just another added problem that she does not need. Everyone goes and tries their hand at archery. They were dressed, but it just didn't seem as if they were dressed for archery for me, except for the Shannon Storms Bedore. Okay, this woman will give a costume. This woman is dedicated to a costume. She will, if you say it is a theme, Shannon Storms Bedore steps right up to the plate to be a part of the theme. And that's one of the things I love about her. She goes all out.
Jen doesn't have a lot of original thoughts. She follows Heather around, and if Heather says, oh, it looks amazing, and Jen will go, amazing.
I don't want to get involved.
I don't want to be involved.
Yeah. And your kids had their first day of school.
They had their first day of
which
school.
was very exciting. No.
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 And then Heather will say something else like, oh, this looks so good. And she'll go, so good. She just repeats everything Heather says.
Is it like a marked trail?
It's a marked trail.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Now, honey, listen. Emily was right on the money with that. I did not realize that it was happening as much. I had seen it happen a couple times, but I didn't know that she was doing it as much as she was. She does not seem to have an original thought. She does and says whatever Heather says. Even when they got home from their hiking trip later in the show, Heather said how good the chicken was, and she was like, oh, so good. I mean, really, girl? You are a physician, and you can't come up with anything on your own? That was a little odd. But I would also ask for Emily and Gina to pull their head out of Heather's ass as well. Both of you are doing the same thing. And can I also say that later on the trip, you see Gina and Emily on the bus. Gina makes this comment that she's going to go to the mines with Noella, but she's not going to be in there listening to her talk about her dad who just passed the whole time. Excuse me? Excuse me. If someone loses a loved one, especially someone like a father, a mother, a child, you allow those people to talk about it as much as they want, as long as they want. This is serious. People are allowed to grieve as much as they want, as long as they want. I don't understand that. Gina comes off as so heartless. And Emily too, because she's right there sticking by it. And that whole Gina dragging Emily back to the bedroom on the floor, they want to be Tamara and Vicky so bad. It's just not working. Bring back the real Tamara and Vicky. Now, when Jennifer, Heather, and Shannon went on this walk, it was so beautiful. I mean, the scenery was incredible. As you can probably tell throughout this video, I have taken a lot of shots of the scenery. Man, it was beautiful there.
I'm happy.
I'm happy too.
Did you catch that? I'm happy. Really? Oh my gosh. Are you happy with Ryan? Girl, shut the hell up, Lion. She is the echo in the woods. Heather and Shannon and Gina have this conversation, and Shannon lets them know how she feels about Emily stirring the pot and causing confusion between her and Gina. Personally, I think that Emily is jealous of Shannon's relationship with Gina, and she's also jealous of Gina and Heather's relationship as well. So she's doing everything she can to cause confusion. Shannon mentions that she thinks that her and Emily are friends, and I think that Shannon really needs to sit back and evaluate friends, because I don't think that Emily or Gina are truly Shannon's friends. Friends don't treat each other the way they do. You know, she needs to realize that they are co-workers and associates, not friends. Heather makes this comment, is Emily a shit stirrer or is she a truth teller? Well, she's only a truth teller in your opinion, because she's not spreading any rumors about you. But as soon as she starts to stir the pot in your business, I bet she'll be a shit stirrer then. I'm just saying. Now, Shannon and Emily have a conversation. She asked Emily for this conversation right in front of Heather. Heather is sitting right there. And they go out to talk.
The thought of negativity is just exhausting.
But then why do you say things about Gina that are like negative things about her?
That's Gina and my business. Having so much fun with you.
I do, and I love you too, and I mean that.
I think you guys both need to talk to Shannon.
I already talked to Shannon.
Oh.
Listen, I don't believe Emily at all. I really don't. I don't think that she's friends with Shannon. I don't think she cares about Shannon. And there's no loyalty there. I think that she is absolutely just using Shannon for storyline purposes and to break up Shannon and Gina's relationship. This has just been a constant battle for no reason. This has been arguments back and forth for no reason all season. I think that Shannon should just cut ties with both Emily and Gina and only associate with them for business purposes. Now, how was Heather surprised that they had a conversation? Gina makes a comment that she doesn't understand how Shannon and Emily can just make up like that. How Shannon can understand Emily, but she never gives her a chance. She never understands where Gina's coming from. That's because you're always treating her like crap and always throwing low blows. When would she ever have the opportunity to understand where you're coming from? Not only that, she wants Shannon to take accountability. Have we seen Gina take accountability even once this season for any of the mess that she has been doing? No. The bear costume was a failure for me. I mean, it was a good laugh, a good moment, but you don't tiptoe out standing up. You don't come out in a bear costume wearing high heels. The whole thing was just ridiculous. And Jen trying to stop them from walking out from that bluegrass bed. Girl, mind your business, okay? Even though I did think it was rude that they decided to do that just then while these people are performing. You know, it wouldn't have been a big deal if they had walked out of a stadium, but it was a little backyard with 6 people. You know, that was a little rude.
Going to close this chapter, and most importantly, she's going to shut the about her divorce now, so.
Divorce was the easiest divorce in the world, and I'm getting out ever. She's so arrogant. Oh my God. She's so full of herself. Oh my God, stop.
Who's Tatiana? My friend. You need to know who she is in my life. Because everybody knows. It's hot.
Come on.
It's not that deep.
It's deep for me.
You were blindsided by a divorce. Your father passed away. Like, it's just too much. It's okay. We've all seen it.
Shannon Bedour's here.
All right.
So I'm trying.
Everybody. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person to people.
Okay. Did Gina just say shit happens when talking about somebody dying?
She's getting cut a very large check, and it's the worst
But here's the
thing in
thing.
the world.
If you're
What Gina has drank too much. Noella has drank too much. Gina, I would like to remind you that there was 2 seasons where all you talked about was your divorce, your domestic violence, and your DUI. Why can't Noella talk about her divorce and her father passing? And you know what? Who the hell is Tot? I don't give a damn about Tot. I don't care. You are trying to get Tot a place on this show. We don't care. Okay, this is ridiculous. Everybody should know that Tatiana is Tot. Who gives a damn?
Who this woman?
Who gives a damn?
Oh my Lord. To me, the lack of empathy towards someone's father passing away is absolutely ridiculous to me. They did it to Meredith on Salt Lake City, and now they're doing it to Noella. Noella may be annoying as hell, but she lost a parent. Even if they weren't as close as some parents are with their kids, he's still her parent. I think that Gina was so rude and nasty. And remember that time last season when Gina called Bronwyn a sloppy chihuahua? Well, honey, ma'am, now who's the sloppy chihuahua? I cannot believe that we actually spent 5 minutes on Tati. And that comment that Gina made about she doesn't feel sorry for Noella, she's about to get a large check in her divorce, that sounds a lot like jealousy to me. Is it because she's getting this large check that you are appalled? Even though she's getting a divorce, a large check doesn't settle everything. A large check doesn't cover a broken heart. That whole shit happens just threw me for a loop. I had to rewind. I said, did she really say shit happens? I think it's time for Gina to go. It really is. I think it's time for her to go. To be honest, I'm exhausted with Noella, Gina, Emily, Heather, and Jen. I think that next season it should be Shannon, Noella, and 4 or 5 new housewives. I just cannot. Previews for next week. If Shannon doesn't cuss Gina down to the damn ground, I'm going to be pissed. Let her have it right in the middle of the store. And you know I do not like public embarrassment, but I would read her for filth right in the middle of downtown Aspen Shopping Center. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Gina, I've had it with you. So far this season, we have seen Jen be a follower and boring as hell. Gina has had 0 substance. We have seen her be heartless and cruel to Noella. Emily has just been a flip-flopping snitch. Heather is vile. She's pretentious. She's rude. Noella is giving us content, but she's annoying the hell out of us. And Shannon is the only one just barely trying to hold it together and trying to have fun and laugh. Andy Cohen and the other Bravo people, please reboot this reboot. The ratings are in the trash and the show is getting on everybody's nerves. Anyway, peeps, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.